You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I'm your host as always, Seth with Podcast Mastery and Goldstein Media. And today I have a friend of mine, Jake Wysocki. He's not from Tokyo, he's Polish.
It's true.
Even though he said growing up people always would go, Wysocki! And you know, it happens. It's not like some of these Polish names are like long and all consonants, and it's like, what the hell am I reading here? So
And technically, I think it's Wysocki. I went to Poland a decade
the
ago.
W's a V, yeah.
In America, we don't use that
We don't
pronunciation.
do that. That just confuses people. Exactly. So Jake has trained hundreds of people in workshop facilitations at Fortune 200 companies, and then left to bring that same methodology to the world of coaching. He now runs Intention Craft, where he helps experts build workshops their clients will love to attend, and they'll also love to deliver. So that's a good thing. So Jake, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Always, buddy. We met through Ed Oyama, who is actually Asian. Nothing against that. I don't know if that's whatever. It's fine. But yeah, Ed was on a previous podcast on Entrepreneur's Enigma as well. So he's a previous guest.
Yeah, his episode, I listened to it this morning or yesterday. Just went live recently, as of this recording anyway. It was a good one.
A wild dude. He's a wild dude. He's crazy. If you follow Jake on LinkedIn, of course, but also follow Ed Oyama. And Ed's insane, like with his videos. It's hilarious. We're not here to talk about Ed. We're here to talk about you. So how did this all get started? How did you get into facilitation? And then how did you get into training people how to do facilitation, essentially?
Yeah, definitely. So without going through every single beat, I'll just drop a few sprinkles.
I was born.
Exactly. Way back in the day, it was a stormy night, which I think is actually true, but I digress. I'm actually an engineer. I have an engineering degree, although I never did capital E engineering work. And
so you're like those lawyers who even pass the bar and never practice law. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I have an engineering degree from mechanical engineering, but never did any.
Are you handy though?
I'm very handy. Yeah.
So you can fix stuff in the house. So
yes, I built a major portion of our basement that I'm sitting in right now during the pandemic, and so yeah, I'm
all right.
pretty
So
handy.
You're using your degree just not to make money. Gotcha.
Yes, correct.
That's good. Very good.
And so that's important because I have a very process systems like mindset.
Yes.
And along my journey, I found myself in basically an intrapreneurial role in the Fortune 200 company I was working in. I didn't call it that at the time, but looking back, that's what it was. Yeah. I was basically leading a project for a new product development project, if you will. Mm-hmm. For like a software app, which I work for a hardware company. So all the details don't really matter. But the point is, we were trying to get some of our devices connected, the whole IoT thing, if you've ever heard of that phrase.
Yes.
And we have an internal, I don't work for them anymore, but we had an internal, or the company I work for
or they still have, but
yes.
We got it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Words are hard.
I like to be specific, and sometimes that makes me a little wordy, but I like to be
go
nuanced.
for it, but it's a podcast. This isn't NPR. We're having fun here. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd have to tone down my my ups and downs and keep it a lot more monotone if we were on NPR.
Talk like this. Yes. Welcome to All Things Considered.
Exactly. So anyway, as part of that project, it had some visibility because it was new and exciting. We were trying these new things that were new for our company, and they plugged us into the design team that is at my company.
Yeah.
And I didn't know much about design. I didn't go to school for design, but part of that journey was getting in touch with the design thinking aspect of our design team.
Ooh, the gearheady side of the design. Yeah.
Yeah. So design thinking was really cool when I learned about it. And that was like so the answer to your question is that was the spark. The spark was learning about design thinking. It was this nice melding of the process side and the human side, which I really appreciate also. I like to connect with humans, and everything we do is ultimately in service of other humans in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed working with that team, took some training about design thinking, and I said, I got to get on this team. It took me 2 years, but eventually I joined that team. And then that role was teaching other people in my company how to do design thinking, among other things.
Oh, really? That's very cool.
So that's kind of the kernel that started it, but I was facilitating. The main thing that we did was we designed, developed, and delivered a training for other people about design thinking, very meta. It was a design thinking built training that was using design thinking to build it.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is basically history. So the rest is basically history, but that's the gist.
Wow. And then while you were at the Fortune 200 company, did you go into the training side of things at that point, or did you leave and do it on your own first? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Okay. So I worked on that team for, I think, about 3 years. I forget the exact time frame, but I really loved that team. Actually, one of the first things I did when I did leave my job, and I'll explain kind of the mechanics or whatever of how I left or what I did there. But the first thing I wrote a blog post because my idea was I'm going to be a blogger because that's how everybody does it, which is not, I don't think generally true these days.
No, it's kind of old school, but still, yeah.
Very old school. But the first article I wrote was why I quit the job I loved. And in there, I described kind of my journey, which was I've always talked about in the last 5 years of my career, like I'm going to go do my own thing at some point. But it was very vague, undefined, not very,
As with most people,
it was like an idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 2023 summer, my wife asked me, said, somehow it came up again. I remember I was sitting on the couch upstairs and she said, so when are you going to do that? And I said, I don't know, sometime in the near future. Kind of the same answer.
Yeah,
just
vague
like
again. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And she said, well, no, really, why not do it now? And I said, well, I don't know, money, and I love what I'm doing, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, go examine that belief or that excuse, and you'll probably find that it's BS, basically. Yeah. And she was right. And I'm like, we can afford this. We can live off your salary, and I can figure out how to build the business and blah, blah, blah. And I did love the team I was working for, but that wasn't really what was holding me back. And the final kind of question was, would I regret not just doing this now or waiting to some indeterminate point in the future? And I decided, why not just do it now? I don't want to regret it. Let's just try it.
Yeah.
And,
or so happens you go back.
That led to it. Yes.
Or something you can, and people boomerang a lot now. So
yes, exactly. And the people who heard me doing this, most people were excited for me, appreciative, but also confused. Maybe like, oh, that's great. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Like that's odd. Like, are you sure? Like, is that safe? And from my perspective, it's safe? Kind of like
nothing about entrepreneurship is safe. Come on now.
Well, okay. So this is exactly, you're teeing me up perfectly for the point I was going to make.
Perfect.
Because staying in a job is also not safe in its own way. I liken it to putting money in a savings account. It is safe in many regards, but you're also guaranteeing that you're going to lose value over time because the interest they're paying you is by definition less than you could make, less than it's worth because of the safety.
Absolutely.
Right?
Good analogy. Yeah.
So staying in that job would have been safe in some ways. And sure, it would, like lots of people have jobs. I'm not saying jobs are bad.
No.
But you know, the potential upside of trying something and then I could go back to a job if it doesn't work out. Sure, it's not as easy as I can just walk in, but I can go find another job if I need to. Let's go try it and run an experiment. So here's the other piece. And I don't necessarily recommend this, but I chose to just quit and figure it out after I quit. I did not want to do a side hustle.
Build the plane while it's flying. Exactly.
Yes. So I didn't want to do a side hustle. I have, at the time, a 3 and a 5-year-old, I think they were. Now they're 5 and 8. And I didn't want to take extra time.
You want to have time for them, too, which is kind of key. So, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And while I was fully remote. I could have done work during the day because I had flexibility. It just felt wrong for me personally. I'm not saying people who do this, you shouldn't. Oh. But I loved my team. I really wanted to honor them by not just pretending that I'm all in when I'm not. So I gave my 3 months notice, quit, and then I just figured it out from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's notice.
Yes. Well, again, I love my team. And actually, You don't know me all that well, but I like to, I have a very dry sense of humor, and I also like to be kind of provocative. So when I told my boss, she's like, ha, very funny. Because I said, hey, so here's the big topic. I'm leaving to start my own business. And she's like, very funny, Jake. This is hilarious. So what do you really want to talk about? I'm like, no, really. This is for real. She's like, oh my gosh, really? Like, that's the kind of thing I might joke. Maybe not that exactly, but those types of things I might joke about. Saying things just to like get under people's skin. So, but yeah, I wanted to give her and the rest of the team plenty of notice, transition well.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And
Leave
they
on
didn't just
a good
fire
note,
me,
yeah.
so it was good.
Exactly. So you're out on your own. You're helping people build workshops and, really kind of find their why in their workshop, essentially. Hence the reason why your domain name is workshopwhy.com. Check it out. There's freebies there. So in your mind, what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur versus being an intrapreneur?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious things. Here's what I'm gonna say. The first thing that comes to mind is freedom and flexibility. But I think as you certainly would know, and those listening probably also realize, it's not quite that simple. Like, sure, I could go do whatever I want, but the like I could just play video games and like walk around all day if I wanted to. That is freedom. But then the consequences are more dire. Well, and it's boring. But the consequences
walk around all day.
dire.
Eventually, you're gonna get sick of walking. You'll lose weight, but
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so the freedom is nice. I can choose, but I'm more in control of my own destiny. And what I like is the safety net isn't there. I'm not getting paid regardless of what I actually do, assuming you don't get fired at a job. But I also can make so much more, and it's just fun. It's fun figuring it out. As almost trite as that might sound, it's just I'm having fun figuring it out.
It is fun building it while the plane's flying. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, and it's unnerving, but it's also exciting, exhilarating, and, rewarding in a way because you built something that you own. Like, you back to your whole analogy of the savings account. Now you're more in a high yield mutual fund that gives you more than you put in to really kill that analogy. Exactly. So.
Yes, and it's more. This is a good analogy. It's more volatile. Sometimes it may be down for a while. Sometimes it may be up a lot. Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more risky. Yeah,
it's more risky, and that's what essentially what entrepreneurship is. So what keeps you up at night besides your kids?
Well, that's funny. My kids are actively keeping me up at night, like last night. So yeah, that's a very apt analogy. But besides that, honestly, for me, it's so part of the piece of the puzzle that I didn't mention that also helped make this an easy leap, besides my wife having a stable job, is that we've been pursuing the path to FIRE, financial independence, retire early.
Yeah.
So that gave us a nice cushion. Now I'm not at FIRE. I can't not work and totally live off of it the way we want to live. But it does give a lot of safety. So thankfully, like, will I make money isn't like what's on my mind all the time. Now, it's obviously important.
Good. Yeah.
But it reduces that. In some ways, honestly, I almost feel like in some ways that can be a negative too, because that pressure, that need isn't there. But it's also not desperation. So I don't have desperation when it comes to sales conversations, which really helps.
That's great. Which is good because then you don't undercut yourself.
Yes.
Because you charge what you're worth because you're not like, I need this deal kind of thing. So,
yeah. So I think the thing that's keeping me up at night lately, if I can use that phrase,
go for it,
is like, how do it's more like tactical. It's like, okay, I'm in the middle of figuring out like what I really want to offer. And actually the call I was on just before this recording, I was on a hot seat asking this question. And the thing that I'm toying with and always struggling with is, how do I speak clearly and simply so people can understand me with clarity?
That's what he does. Exactly.
Yeah. Versus like all the things I could offer and like muddy my message and explain all these things. Like, I have different levels of service I could offer you and different vehicles I can help you design, but that makes it really muddy. So this is the thing that I'm struggling with and kind of toying with.
Niche down and like how to niche without shooting yourself in the foot, all that stuff. So.
Yes, exactly. Classic entrepreneur dilemma. Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
Like me personally, or for people listening who want to be an entrepreneur?
For you personally, it can be as woo-woo as you want to get.
So I am an engineer at the core, so I'm not too woo-woo most of the time. But
most of the time, there you go.
For me, it's I'm gonna cheat and give you a few things that come to the top.
Go for it. Absolutely.
First is don't take yourself. I don't want to take myself too seriously. I take my work seriously, but I want to have fun. Like if we're not having fun, like we're doing something wrong. So this is something that's infused throughout everything I do. Is let's have some fun with it. The other thing that immediately comes to mind that I want to carry with me all the time is just figuring out how to bring excellence, but not worry about perfection. And I think that I've been toying with this a lot.
Excellence versus perfection. I like that. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people chase I think these days people know enough to say, no, I'm not trying to be perfect. And yet I think a lot of times people are, which is there is a right answer.
They want to, yeah.
Yeah. So perfection for me is there is a right answer and I need to find it. And I'm not satisfied until I find it, which I think is basically non-existent. Maybe there's a few examples that the exception proves the rule. But excellence is the pursuit of continuing to improve because you care and looking for ways to get better, and not being satisfied that sure, maybe there's a point where good enough's good enough. But generally, excellence is the pursuit of being better and trying to improve, but not trying to find the final destination and be perfect. So.
Love that. Absolutely. There you go. Much better than saying my phone.
That's right.
Because
Yes.
people do say my phone, and I'm like, well, okay, we'll go with that. But like, why your phone? You know,
Yeah, I don't even want to carry. I carry it mostly out of practicality. I don't even want to carry it with me all the time.
No, my leg vibrates if I don't have my phone on me. I feel the vibration.
Phantom phone syndrome.
Oh, it happens. It happens. The struggle's real. The struggle's real. So, where can people find you most online? LinkedIn, is that where you hang out the most, or?
I actually I don't do a lot of social, but if you want to connect with me, you can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you want some of my free resources, go to workshopwhy.com. That'll get you hooked in with how to get started. Yeah.
Love it, man. Jay, this has been so much fun. I'm glad to finally get you on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Seth. This was a lot of fun as well. Thank you.
Awesome. And we'll see everyone next week.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.